Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Fan Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
Hey, yo, y'all know me, Pops Fans Ant from the Madness Comic Network. The Madness Comic Network coming to Roku. You can check out our preview channel right there, right now. Look, we're bringing all of our content to Roku. I'm excited. You should be too. A shout out to Hart Fisher at the American Horse Channel, baby. Woo! You know what's up.
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that. I mean, I remember when you guys, it was black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they have just, I mean, they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
Genuinely cutting. But also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
you done, getting you there. Critical path logistics, getting you done, getting you there.
The Madness Comic Network and Comic Related Madness proudly presents Madness Tuesday Morning Brew. Tune in to our content on Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt on YouTube.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, my friends. It's Tuesday already. I don't know, today because of the holiday feels like it's a Monday because my kids were off yesterday, but it's freaking Tuesday. So let's get to it. I'm excited. I got my coffee. I got a great guest. Actually, I have 2 guests planned for today, which is, unlike me, but it's awesome. And we're going to talk about their amazing project. They have so many things that they work on. And just, I love seeing indie kicking butt and taking names. Some quick updates about Path of the Pale Rider. Y'all didn't see me play a commercial for Path, did you? That's because we have a new commercial. I just want to remind everybody we are launching the trade paperback for Path of the Pale Rider in less than a week. Oh my goodness. It's basically I don't want to figure out the hours. I don't want to count it down. But here's a little preview of what it looks like. We're going to be raising $2,000, which is of course less than what we normally do because the art's already done. Hooray. But here's the first time y'all get to see our new video. Here you go. Because we all need to know, right? What the heck is Path of the Pale Rider? What the heck? That goes out to Jeff Bracey, who asks that question every week when we play D&D and all sorts of games. He's always like, what is Path of the Pale Rider? So that's where we went. We got some really cool merch on this campaign. Join us next week, Monday. Whoa, it's Carissa. Good morning, Carissa. Join us next week. Pops and I will be doing a walkthrough of the campaign. I'll show off all the really cool stuff. I've been over here making freaking sauce packets, hot sauce packets, and books. If y'all didn't see this, I showed this on Friday, but I've been making these handcrafted little mini trades. They're black and white, and they're beautiful, and they've all 100% handmade by yours truly. So I print the pages, I cut the pages, I do all the gluing, I make the covers myself, bind the books. If you haven't been watching, I rebound some Harry Potter books to learn. But Pops claimed this black on black sexy one. Of course, it's the prototype. It has lots of issues, but that's what he wants. But I've also made a white one, and look, I have made a red one. Pages are red, pages are white. So I'm going to make some more of these. I think I have max of 12 coming out on the campaign, but I just wanted to show these off because they're super cool. And we have a ton of really cool stuff. So join us next week, Monday night before launch, and I will personally walk you through the campaign. You'll be able to see all the cool things that we are doing. I'm working on one more. We got like a returning backer sticker. That's Care Bear Big James. Really funny. Anywho, let's talk nerdy. Oh, thank you. from the back room. So, yeah, that's cool. So today's guests are Matt Knowles and Steph Cannon. If you haven't heard of this dynamic duo, what are you doing with your life? Honestly. This is Matt. Steph will be joining us shortly after she gets her kids to school. But good morning, Matt. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
What is going on? What's going on? Thank you for having me on. And Laurie, I know I said it in the backstage, but man, those little mini trades look ridiculous. Cool. That is cool as heck, man. I really like it. Holy crap.
Yeah. And I brought them on Friday when I had finished this one. And Pops was like, that one's mine.
I want that one. I want the first
I was like,
one.
but it has a bunch of mistakes in it. He's like, I don't care. I don't care.
Hey, he wants the mistakes in there. He wants you to have it noted number 1. That way, when you get more famous than you are now, he can put it on eBay and all of his bill problems will be completely solved.
No, that's the grandkids stuff, man. All this stuff I get goes to the grandkids. I don't eBay shit.
But I mean, this one, I like the black on black. Like, it's really sexy with the black on black. It's like if you look at it a certain light, you don't even see the skull, but then you turn into it and there it is. It's so cool. But I was like, they all have to be different colors. So the red, and then I'm painting the edge of the pages are also red. And then when I bind the books, the thread that I'm using is also red. You won't be able to see it because of me. Yeah, you can see it. It's customized, you know what I mean, too.
So how long does it take you to put one of those things together from start to finish, printing out the pages, binding it? How long does it take you to make one of those?
Well, I'm getting better at it, but it takes me about a day to do one.
And how many hundreds of dollars are those going to be on your campaign for?
I have 5 of them available at $100 level, but you get this and you get the trade.
Right.
So you get both of them together. So you get the official one and you get one of these. And then I have 5 of them available on like the kitchen sink. Everything comes in that package. So they'll get every single piece of merch, but they also get one of these. I might need to make one extra for Charles Boyer, who always gets the retail package. So of course, he's going to back the retail package. He always makes sure that I have one, but he'll get one as well. So max 11 I'll make of these.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
So, fun stuff. And I figure once I get good enough, I'll open it up for other people. Like, do you want a mini black and white handcrafted? I'll make one for you. Brandon from Avalon is like, you can do mine next.
I wanted to pop in early, say hi to my boy Scream Punk. You know.
What's up? What's up?
But I noticed that Top Billing isn't here yet, so I figure I'll just hang out till she gets here, and then I'll get out the way and we'll give her this top spot. Okay.
That's all cool. Yeah. So one of the things where she lives, all the schools have got like signal blockers, and there's like a bunch of schools like elementary, middle, and high school kind of together. Oh. So when school is in session, you can't even get it's so weird. You can't even get like a phone call in. And I'm like, this doesn't make a lot of sense, because what if you need to call your kid? What if your kid needs to call you? There's just no way to get a call in or out. It's so ridiculous. So it's not even, you can't even try to get a call in or out when she's either taking them there or picking them up.
What if you needed to call the police?
Well, I know that like normally stuff like that has got like a different signal. Like if you call 911, it'll actually take you to a different one. But still, it's crazy. It's really weird how intense of a blocker they have in that one small area.
I mean, I get it. I'm in Texas, and they're like, if we catch you on your cell phone at pickup or drop off, it's $200 fine. But
what?
That's ridiculous.
Because half the time I'm just sitting there for like 30 minutes, so I'm not in the
street.
Authoritarian
to me.
They just don't want you distracted and running people over. That's the plan.
I'm assuming this must have happened a bunch of times in Texas for them to come up with a stupid ass.
It's anywhere on schools. Like, that's why they do it for stuff, I'm sure, for their schools, is for the protection of the kids, because adults are on their cell phones and not paying attention, and things happen. There was an accident right outside the school this week, or last week, where it's like, what is going on? And then they blocked the entire way, like the drop off. They parked right in front of where people turn.
School zone and everything. Like
idiots.
I don't get it.
I don't know. So anyway, let's talk about comics. So Matt, Matt,
Yes.
you
Yes.
are one half of the dynamic duo of In Symmetry Comics. I love In Symmetry Comics is such a great name. And you guys do a whole, I wanted to say this, plethora of comic books.
That's right. That's right. We absolutely do. And so, and pardon me for doing this. It's In Symmetry Creations. And the reason why it's In Symmetry Creations is because we intentionally didn't want it to be comics. Yeah, because I'm a metal musician by trade. Before I started doing this, I had released 5 or 6 CDs with my old band prior to getting into comics. For me to actually start doing this was me after taking about 7 to 8 years off of content creation entirely. I was just kind of writing stuff on my own just to kind of have it. But I had been burnt out completely on the industry. I was like, you know what? I want to write some new music, but I also want there to be more. And so I started to write an ebook, which turned into the original The Crossroads Conundrum story. And then that ebook turned into an illustrated novel, turned into a comic. The little songs here and there turned into a full album and was the basis for what In Symmetry Creations is now, at least from my side. And so when we got into doing this, we decided we wanted to make sure that the title was broad enough. Now, granted, it does cause us a little bit of issues when we're at, say, like a live show, and we're, in an artist alley or in a booth, and there's so many people in there that are such and such creations, and most of the time, those creations are tchotchkes and tumblers and things like that. So we've had to start making sure that our names show on their Matt Knowles, In Symmetry Creations, Steph Cannon, or Matt Knowles and Steph Cannon, if it's both of us together, to help to differentiate so people realize, hey, this is actually a creator that's here as well. It's not just a business selling crafts.
Right. Dragon candles.
And there's nothing wrong with the dragon candles at all, but for sure.
You have to manage expectations, and it's like your name is so important to drive people to the table. So are they getting you as a person? No, they're getting you as a dynamic duo. They're getting all the things that encompass In Symmetry, which is comics. I was amazed by good morning, Doc. I was amazed by the leather work. That stuff's badass. And then of course your music. I think when you and I had first started to talk, you had sent me, because we're in the chat group together, so we're like pushing each other's stuff because that's what we're supposed to do as indie, right? And you were like, check out my thing, and I was like, this is super cool. Like I couldn't get you on the show, but I was like, we're gonna listen to the song on the show, and it was I Am Keto that was up.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, holy crap, because when you look at it, it's like feudal Japan, like Mortal Kombat type action, and then it has like this metal soundtrack, and I was like, whoa, like this is this weird combination that I'm into, right? So that was a lot of fun. That was my first experience with Matt. And then he was like, check out this like face mask I got made out of leather with like on it. And I was like, what does this guy do, man? So it's like, what is Path of the Pale Rider, but what is In Symmetry, right? So I wanted to throw this up here real quick. This website's super cool. Look, it's like playing music in the background.
So
there's so much stuff that you can just get lost. Look at these pictures right here, though. It's amazing.
We wanted to make sure that on the website, we believe in the give people the least number of clicks possible to get to where they want to get to. So that's why on the front page, you've got a link to get to each specific story. You've got a link to get to the 2 full albums that are there. That picture of me that's in the blue with the mic. I do a lot of panel hosting and emceeing at live shows. Been able to meet a lot of really, really freaking cool celebrities. And just really be able to interact with the people like Jamie Kennedy, Kevin Smith.
I saw that one. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, there's such a laundry list of super, super cool people that I've met. And some of them, like Jamie Kennedy is one that I would actually say that Jamie Kennedy is a friend now. It's not like we talk outside of the shows, but I've seen Jamie Kennedy multiple times, and we, without making the story too long, we had an insane incident the first show that he was ever at, where he got there late. I had to meet him on the way to the stage. He got there and he just walked in the building, did not really meet anybody else in the venue, had to kind of like get him up to speed on what he's going to do. He gets on the stage. He's going to do like a part comedy act and part like QA, but we weren't sure when that QA was going to start. And 10 minutes into his set, the entire sound system blew.
Oh no.
So the only thing that was there was like some of the monitor speakers for the stage. And so we had to turn those things around, and we basically had to just completely wing it in front of like 1,000 people so that way he didn't get a bad taste in his mouth about this show. And I was like basically the conduit to kind of help make sure that everything worked for the crowd. And like, he's yelling answers from the stage, and I'm, going back and forth with the mic, and like he and I like bonded over that. Like we got done with that, and I walked him over to his area, put his arm around me. He's like, "Man, we did really good, didn't we? That was great. We did an awesome job. We just kept on going, you and me, right?" And I'm like, "Jamie Kennedy, we just become best friends, man." I'm like, "This is super cool." So fast forward to the most recent show that we did, and Jamie and I were just a part of the show and part of the groups. Hey, everything is cool. And got to the last day, we're at the cosplay contest, and I'm going through everybody. I'm on the stage, hyping everybody up. And I see Jamie Kennedy standing at the back of the side of the stage, and he's doing just like this. And I'm like, okay. So called up the next contestant, and he walks up onto the stage, and he does a little thing, and he and I banter back and forth a little bit. And he gives me a hug, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I just snuck into the cosplay contest to say bye to you before I left." And I'm like, I was like, what? I'm like, think about that. How many times does something like that happen? I'm like,
never.
That is, for me, on that side of the stage, that was an influence on me, and that's a memory that I will have in a story that I can tell forever. He did that one little thing to show me that I mattered on the stage. And as a creator and as a segue into creation, that's what we try to do with the things that we do. We want people to read our stories. Our line of action is we want to create characters people can relate to and universes you want to escape into. And we've had, it blows our mind when you've got somebody that'll be like, "Oh man, I read that story. I love that story." We had a thing happen at a show in Louisiana. No, excuse me. Was it Louisiana? Yeah, Louisiana. I'm so confused about where. Okay, Louisiana. Yep. It was in the Arklatex area. Yeah, it was in Louisiana. And we had this group of 3 guys come up, and we were kind of joking around with them, banter. They're probably like early 20s, and just goofing off and having a fun time with them. And they walked around the building, and they came back a little later, and they're like, "We're going to buy something from you guys because you're one of only 2 people that stopped and talked with us and had fun with us at the show." So they bought a bunch of stuff, and we kind of joked around with them about one guy's like, "Hey, this looks cool, but I'm a simple man. And I'm not, I think this looks cool." I'm like, "We're going to test you tomorrow, man. We're going to test you on this story if you really like it." They came back the next day, and the dude that said he was a simple man came up, and he was like, "Man, I really like that. And this character here and that character there, and the interactions between these two. And I was really wondering about this." And we were like, "Dude, don't ever shortchange your intelligence again, man. You caught everything. You caught everything in the issue. You were a freaking savant, man." And we like pumped those guys up, and hopefully we had the same kind of impact on people like that Jamie Kennedy had on me at that show.
Right. That's so cool.
Can I jump in here real quick? Because you made a real significant point. I want to show a video real quick. It's short, but I want to show it. I don't want you to look at the guy in front. I want you to look at the guy in the booth behind him. Okay. And you'll see exactly what Matt's talking about. Do not spend your day at the con glued to your phone.
Hey, everybody, Dirk Manning here, the writer and creator of numerous comic books and graphic novels, including Nightmare World, Tales of...
Every booth is popping, except the guy next to him sitting there with his phone in his hand. I'm just saying. Hi, Stop Billing. Stop Billing.
Hello.
Welcome.
Everybody doing?
We're great.
Thanks for having me on and for letting me pop in a little late.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Absolutely. We were waiting for the better half to show up.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I'm telling you too, I can go. I can get out of here now. You guys
Okay,
don't
bye.
need me anymore. I will see you all later. It's great to see you guys. I love you.
Yes, Steph.
See you later, Pops.
Thanks a lot, Pops.
Yeah, no, he
Steph-
was just holding your spot for you, and now that you're here, he was like, "I
Well,
could
that was so
the
nice
seat's a
of
little warm, but you're good to just hop on right in."
Steph, I just got done talking about Jamie Kennedy and the cosplay contest and the
Yeah.
the blowing up of the sound system. And then I told him about the group of guys at
Romance.
yeah, and that's right. And I told him about the group of guys in at GeekCon and how we had the same kind of impact on them that they had on us. So that's what we just covered before you jumped in.
Okay.
I wanted to see if I could buy a leather helmet from your shop.
So I don't know if we have it on there, but I can double check because there's two different versions. You've got the dragon mask, and then you've also got the Soul Ripper mask, the one you saw in the I Am Keto. Yeah, they're both like $300, but we definitely have got those. So that's the dragon mask.
They're very
That's the
talented
dragon
leather
mask.
workers that do very good work. So it's everything is
Yeah.
handmade. I mean, these guys are like what you would see, you know, in medieval times in a blacksmith shop. They're hand stitching, they're branding things, they're hammering things out. It's a whole thing. So
Look at that. That's amazing.
yeah.
Ah,
look at
that's
that.
awesome. What's that? Is that you, Matt?
Talking about on the back. Oh, actually, it's not. So what it is, as cool as that is, so the leather workers, we used to do this show that was a steampunk festival. There was like a group of three of us in a row. You'd have Steph and I for InSim, and then you'd have the leather workers from GB Leatherworks, and then there was a hat maker. The Bunny's hats would literally our Green Bunny hats would literally make a top hat from scratch right there at their booth. Not like dress it up, like literally like cut the fabric and all that.
Yeah.
And those people and our guys from GB are really good friends. So GB got Matt, who is not me, Matt, but that's Matt, to do a full cosplay photo shoot for the Dragon Lord mask. And so that's all them. They went, we didn't even ask him to do it. Like, hey man, guess what? We did a photo shoot for the Dragon Lord mask. What do you guys think? And we're like, dude, this is freaking amazing, man.
Yeah.
We were like, man, he's like looking all dapper and everything.
I know. It's like he has money, has a cigar. He's talking to poor Yorick. I was like, this is hilarious. I was like, oh, your shop just goes on forever. Oh my
It
god.
does. We got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but that's amazing. I don't know if people realize websites are a pain in the I'm going to say keister here. They're a pain in the butt. I hate updating my website, but it's, important to do. This is a ton of work to build this.
Very much. Very much.
Yeah, and that's all Matt. I'm not very tech savvy. So he does all of that. He's got that design eye and that creative eye and knows how to make items pop so that they look good.
Yeah,
that's definitely his arena. I'm like, okay, this looks good.
I love the socks though. They look like tattoos. That's awesome.
Yeah, we've in our campaign, we've actually become known for doing our socks. And in our campaign, we tried to make sure that if somebody's like, hey, I really like socks, but I'm not really sure if I want to get comics, they could go in there. There's a tier that's literally just called Sock It To Me, and it's got all 5 pairs of socks that we've made. And then they still get a PDF of the issue or a physical copy of the issue. But we try to make sure that if somebody's just happening upon our campaigns for the first time, and they're like, dude, I've never even heard of these people before. They have the ability to get in there and, as we said earlier, in as few clicks as possible, get to the cool stuff. We try to make sure, because as you see, there is a ton of stuff. There is a lot of stuff going on that we try to help guide them so it's not overwhelming. We were on a show last week that asked us to do a reading order. And we tried to make sure that they had, hey, if you want just the Perilous Prospects arc, here's the reading order for that. If you want the Perilous Prospects and the extended things like I Am Keto, here's the order you would read to put I Am Keto in there. If you want every Heirs of Isildur thing we've ever done, here's how to read every Heirs of Isildur. If you want Heirs plus all the extended pieces, you can. We tried to show people that so that way it took the insanity of it and kind of broke it down into some smaller chunks.
Yeah, and I like how your website can categorize. You know what I mean? Like, I just want the I Am Keto. I just want just the print comics. I just want the woodwork, you know what I mean, or the leather work. So this is great on the side here. I'm taking notes from my own website. That's what I'm actually doing.
Yeah, by all
right,
means.
because mine just like lumps everything together, and I'm just like, oh, good Lord. So yeah, I get it.
Well, I can tell you, I very much appreciate those compliments. You very much appreciate those compliments, and what you just said, iron sharpens iron, because there was a time where what we did, people looked at us and they're like, nobody does merch as insane as what InSim does, because who else out there has got, collectible colored vinyl of music they actually produce? Who does leather work and things like that? But then people like you and Carissa, you guys do a lot of really good merch stuff. She was showing some stuff before you got on where she does, Laurie should hold those things up again. She's doing like these handmade mini binded versions of her trades. She's doing this on her own. And they look really freaking cool.
Awesome.
And I'm like, those kind of things inspire us as well, because we see the cool things that other people are doing. And it's like, you're taking inspiration from the things people have done previously and putting a spin on it. So we're like, if we want to be able to stay at the top of that level, we need to do the same thing. And there's a difference between inspiration and making yourself better, and being iron that sharpens iron, and being a complete copy. Nobody wants to see, Laurie Calcaterra Part 2 and somebody just copying everything you do. They want to see taking inspiration and then building from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because you find inspiration in all these weird places. Like these, I came up with these because I was watching TikTok at 2 a.m. You know what I mean? and found people rebinding books. So someone ripped off it was a book. I don't even know. I forget which one they were binding, but just like one that you would buy at Barnes and Nobles. They ripped off the soft cover and made their own hardcover. And I was like, I want to do this. So I experimented with it, but it's like you can find inspiration in all sorts of places. I love when in our group we inspire each other. That's a lot of fun too. So it's good community, and I think it's important that indie supports indie for that reason as well, because iron sharpens iron. I wanted to get back to the homepage because I mean I want to talk about how unique your guys' kind of business working relationship is, because you're on different sides of the country.
Yes, we are.
Right? How did this all start? How did you find each other and like decide that you're going to go into this venture together? I haven't heard this story.
So it's actually really interesting how it started. There was a common friend of ours. Like, I was already doing stuff on my side. I already had a path going forward. I already knew what I wanted to do. Steph had a path on her side. She knew what she wanted to do. There was a common friend of ours that was a publisher back in the industry in 2017, 2018, that was getting at the time some what we thought was unfair criticism and was just getting blasted online. I was one of the first people to comment on the thread in a show of support. That thread basically went viral, and weeks later, literally 3 weeks after I had made a comment on there, I got a notification saying that Steph Cannon had commented on this post as well. And I just clicked on the notification, had no idea who this person was.
Right.
And the wording she used in her post, the style that she used in there was just something that it just had a positivity to it that I appreciated. And I just clicked on her comment, and it was something that just, again, she had her profile was up there. She had some art from a story that she had done. And we just started a quick conversation from there. And it was very, very quickly that we both realized that the other person had knowledge and inspiration and things like that was going to be the yin to the yang. There were some things that I thought that I knew, that as soon as Steph and I started talking, I'm like, man, I do not have a clue about this thing over here that I really need. And I think Steph would say the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
But there was some stuff that she really needed that I was strong in, that she really didn't have that skill in. And so right off the bat, we linked up like that stuff. I'll let you same from your side, but that was definitely, it was very quick that we're like, yeah, we definitely need to kind of be pooling our resources and our mental resources as well. And next thing you know, we started to work together. Within 6 months, we had officially been working together. Wow. And then a year later, a year from the time we met, we actually formed the LLC. So officially in the business world of the LLC, but I'll let Steph go from there.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that Matt was already working on the first pieces of Heirs. That was, and I don't know if he mentioned it on the show yet or not, but it started off as what he likes to call an ebook. And I think he always wanted it to be a comic, but didn't quite, it wasn't there yet as a comic. Yeah. It was more of an illustrated novel. And gotcha. So when we started talking, I was just getting into starting to do comics. The artwork that I had on my page at the time was one that was it was like a 1-page comic. There was an online comics competition and they had a category for 1 page. And I'm like, that sounds like a challenge. But also at the time, I'm like, well, I can afford 1 page of art.
Yeah. So, it sounds great until you try to cram a story into 1 page and you're like, oh, I love it.
I love it so much. It's such a challenge, but I just feel like some of the ideas that I have are really quick hitting ideas.
Cool.
So that became a finalist. And so I thought, I've wanted to be a writer my whole life. And I had done a bunch of research on how to write comics and had read about how to do scripts. And so when Matt and I started talking, it was very interesting because we both had common goals on what we wanted to do. And we're at the same place business-wise with the artists we were working with and, the financial struggles of it all and just how overwhelming it is to do on your own. Props to people who do this and run Kickstarters on their own. I don't know how you guys do it. I would lose my mind. But, and so that's yeah, it is. I mean, we lose our minds doing it, just the two of us. But yeah, so it was really interesting. And I had been in the white collar world, but long before that, I had been at home raising my kids. And so I was very out of that realm where Matt had a lot of business experience in kind of how to deal with people in business and how to work on spreadsheets and documents that I had, but it was very outdated. It was very outdated, and it was a different type of, we just worked in different worlds before we decided to become content creators. So that's where
awesome. That's awesome because you both brought your expertise to the table. You know what I mean? They were different. So continue.
Absolutely. And we've grown a lot since we've both, I think, can say we've learned a lot and grown a lot. And now we're kind of learning together because there's still things as an entity that we still don't know. We're learning every day. We'll never know it all.
Right. I mean, that's just the story of life.
Yeah.
So how do you guys kind of like divide labor? You both write, you both, push campaigns. And these amazing pictures down here, it looks like you both have these personalities that you take on. Matt is and it's both, I love how you're both kind of in the steampunk world that brings you together. But is there anything like, Matt, you do the spreadsheets, and like Steph, you set up the Kickstarter, Matt buys the merch, Steph goes and does promotion? Like how do you divide all that up?
So from a business management standpoint, I take care of the business management side. That's my expertise as a project manager from the white collar world when I was there. So it makes sense for me to be the project manager. But with that being said, everything we do, we try to be very much upfront on spreadsheets. We live and die by Google Docs and Google Sheets. 90% of our day has got Google Sheets in front of us. And what we try to do is we try to make sure we will notate and make sure that we capture every single little thing that we do. And it'll be like, hey, we sent an email to this person. Hey, we made sure that we sent Laurie the stuff for that show. Hey, what are our shows that we have coming up? We need to make sure that we get back with this artist. We need to make sure we get these flats done or these letters done or whatever it may be. And we try to make sure that we capture every single one of those little thoughts. So when we get to the end of the day, we can look and see what we've done. And then when we get to that end of the day, we'll make sure, hey, what are the things we didn't get to? What are the things that we need to get to? And pretty much on a day-to-day basis, we try to like, hey, I can do this thing, I can do that thing. I know Steph is really good on keeping up with our calendars, making sure that our calendars are kept up on. We try to not look at it as
she has kids.
Well, we try to.
Is the mom.
We try to not look at it as a division of labor in a sense. We just know, hey, here's the things we need to do. Like one of the biggest things is like for Steph, she does articles for Fangoria, Horror Geek Life, Creepy Kingdom, Horror Buzz, Daily Dead, and so whenever those articles come up, you know, we always have a rule: if one person is the primary writer, the other person is the primary editor. So when she does those articles, she'll send them over to me, and I am the one that is the editor behind the scenes on those things. And part of the trust the two of us have is she knows if I give her back suggestions or corrections, that I'm not giving those back because I want to have my voice told in her article. It's because I know that there's a specific thing she's trying to get to have the best possible article. And my suggestions are to help her to have that best article that she has. And then it's the same thing. Like, I'm a fast typer. I can smash out typing like nobody's business. And my brain is always going 1,000 miles an hour. So she and I might have the same thought at the same time on a piece of script. But 9 times out of 10, we'll talk about it, and I'll be like, okay, I'll go in and type it in onto the sheet. Is this what we're thinking? And then we'll talk about it. Just so that way it can get done efficiently. It's not that Steph is incapable of typing into a spreadsheet. It's not that Steph is incapable of typing dialogue, but a lot of times it's
I'm known to like hit one button and then everything gets.
I've done that. Carissa did that the other day. Remember, she was like, I saved everything on my Kickstarter and pushed save, and it reloaded nothing. That's you too, Steph, huh?
And there'll be times like I'll notice, like, we'll be on a video chat because with me being in Florida or being in California, we treat every day just like we're in an office, but we're in cubicles that are 2,600 miles apart. Right. So there'll be a time where like she'll hit that spot in the spreadsheet, and something will happen, and I'll physically see it on her face, and then there will be a chain of expletives that'll happen after that. I screwed it up. What do I need to fix it? I'm like, calm down. We got this. I know how to fix it. But it's not that she doesn't know how to do it. It's just, you know, we got it. No worries.
No, it's good to know your team's strengths and weaknesses. And I think that's what you were trying to say. Steph can do all the things.
Oh, yeah.
Just maybe you're a little more efficient at it. And that's cool. Do it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Steph doesn't have to worry about that. Frees her up to do the things that she's, you know, excellent at. You know, I love that. I love that. I had Jessica, Thornton on the other day, and she was talking about being a production, like a producer on a comic. And that's kind of like what you guys do for each other. Is one of you, whatever you're doing, the other one kind of plays the producer, edits, and keeps you on track. So that's great that you guys have that teamwork. I wanted to switch over to this tab. I wanted to show everybody because this team, this dynamic duo, I like saying that word, has a campaign that's live right now. And I want to push you guys to, I have OCD, and it's like 2 backers away from 100 backers. And we all like freak out when we see that, because it's like, oh, just 2 more. And like my brain feels better. I don't know. My life makes more sense when it's a nice round number. We're all that way. Right. But I just want to show you guys, look at all these creations. Now, I just want to, here, we'll stop here. So look, we have Heirs of Isildur. That's the one that's currently going right now. Has 9 more days to go, is at 81%, and has, last time I looked this morning, was at 98 backers. So we'll pull that one up and we'll walk around that one for sure. But look, there's I Am Keto. There's Misfits Clubhouse. There's just Tales of Nocturna. They have a lot of different titles that have all been successful, and they're just beautiful art. They're all a little bit different, and I like how they kind of check off all these different boxes. I have the In Symmetry sampler as well, which was awesome. You get to kind of like get an idea of all the things. but it's like Far East fantasy horror with metal soundtrack. You know, we have kids Saturday morning cartoons. Tales from Nocturna, medieval fantasy. It's just they're so vastly different, but they're all tied together and beautiful and meaningful. And I'm just a big fan of what you guys are doing. Thank you. You know, we can definitely all learn from you guys and what you're doing as well. So I'm really enjoying this. But I'm going to flip over to the campaign and hit refresh because I would love to see 2 more backers.
Oh, me too. And we've actually had more campaigns than what's showing there. We did 3 campaigns before that. So this is actually our 11th individual, and then we managed a couple others. So we definitely been doing a while.
I was going to say your website said 12, but again, I just pulled up the ones under In Symmetry. So you guys have been doing stuff before In Symmetry as well. So this is something where I like to bring that up just in case people are looking at this and like, I don't know, I've never heard of Matt and stuff before. They've been around for a while, guys. You're guaranteed to get your stuff. No creator, creator that doesn't, you know what I mean? Like if they don't fulfill, they're gone in the first year.
And the fun thing about fulfillment for almost all of them, it doesn't happen all the time, but I'm constantly back and forth across the country going to Florida. There's a lot of, and for those that aren't aware, there's a really big indie comic scene in Florida. I don't know what it is. It's something in their water or something.
Well, Scout is there. Yeah. And then there's a big printer. I think it's Comics Impressions.
Comic Impressions is there in Fort Myers. Yeah. They're actually in like the same city, same vicinity as Scout. And then there's a lot of independent comic creators all up and down the state. And so there's a lot of comic conventions. And, you know, in my part of California, we have the big ones. We have San Diego, we have WonderCon. But so we've really formed a kind of like a network of cons that we do a lot of times in Florida. And so I'm there often. I'm there typically every 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes longer, sometimes sooner, just depends. And so I try to make it there, or we try to time it. It doesn't always work out, but we try to time it to where fulfillment is in conjunction with a comic store signing or another show. But there are times too where I just travel there to do fulfillment because asking Matt to do that on his own is a little fair. We have had to do it a few times if it falls around the holidays or some kind of craziness. There's just nothing we can do about it, but I'm still there on the phone with him, helping him out as much as, but it's fun. I don't know. This last fulfillment was very like relaxed and just kind of, I don't know. It's kind of like a little fulfillment party. It's fun. And we just bust it out and we have like a system now that works very well. So yeah, you guys are always going to get it.
And it's also moral support, like going through it together. It's great. I usually get labor from my in-laws.
And we figured out too, even if Steph is in California and I'm doing the fulfillment here, we've got a system now to where she is just as much involved in the fulfillment as I am. I'm just the one that's actually putting the physical packages together because you've got spreadsheets and pirate ship and all that kind of stuff. And so we might both have, again, since we're working off of shared spreadsheets and things like that, we've both got the tablets in front of us. We're on video chat and we're jamming through these things, even if we are at remote locations.
That's awesome. I want to spend a few minutes going through the campaign. Matt had mentioned that this is the shortest welcome video that you will ever find on Kickstarter.
It really is.
Yes.
So let's watch it.
Boom.
That's it. That's all you get, people.
That's right. So all the music that you hear on our campaigns is stuff that is composed by me for us, literally sitting right here in this chair. This is I've got the monitors over here where we do like the graphic work, but also right here, you've got a studio mic, you've got my 8-string guitar right here. So the stuff is created right here. There's been a lot of guest musicians that have been on here. We've had guest musicians from as far away as Norway that have been on our recordings. We've even had some guys that were, famous at a time. We had one of the original members of Under Oath, who was my musical partner for a while before he passed away. But we wanted to treat that campaign video as a teaser for the first new Heirs of Isildur song since 2021.
Oh gosh. Oh, you're overdue then.
Yeah, so we did the music for I Am Keto. So you've heard the trailer song for I Am Keto. We did an orchestral version of that one. We did a jingle theme song for Misfits Clubhouse, but this is the first song that's going to be a part of the Heirs Direct chain. So we wanted to have a little teaser there before, even though there's only 9 days left in the campaign, before the campaign ends, we'll extend that campaign video out just a little bit, so that way you can hear a little bit more of where that song is going to go.
Cool. Okay, I'm excited for that. You'll have to let us know, of course, when you drop that, so we can all go watch, hear, listen.
Oh yeah,
the things. Well, but see, this is what I'm talking about, people. We need 2 more backers. 2. Hi, Grey Wolf. Hello.
Yeah, 2 more backers to get to that 100, and when we get to 100, we all do things where we give away creator PDFs, and there's nothing wrong with that. We all do that. We all include that. The one thing that's cool about we're going to give a creator PDF away at 100 that we can assure you has never been involved in a Kickstarter campaign before. It'll be the first time anybody's ever had access to it. So that really truly makes it where when you back the campaign, you're going to be able to get 2 for 1. You're going to get our book, and you're going to get this other creator PDF that's not something that's already in your treasure chest of PDFs. So you really do get two titles for 1 once we get there. And then obviously once we cross that minimum funding level, which we're $663 away from right now.
So close. It's gonna happen. Like today, tomorrow, one of these days soon. It's maddening to be that close, and it's just like, just move. Wait,
that's right.
Wait, I have a video for you guys. I remembered that I have it. Do this. Where did it go? Dodge this. There we go. I want to show you guys because this is kind of like my take on what it's like to run a Kickstarter. I'm sure you agree. Watch.
Hold on. I think I'm bleeding. Am I bleeding? Ah! 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 Nose and lips! Okay, ow. Ah! No, can I... Ow! 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 Wait! Ow! 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 Please, Mr. Oh!
Oh, if that is not the truth, that is like, yeah, that's the sound of that. Wow, I almost said the sound of those. Anyway, the sound of those bouncy things. I saw a meme the other day that was a picture of that, and it said, "You can't hear a picture." You know, anyone who says they can't hear a picture, because that's immediately what I hear. It's like,
there's so many things that people tell me. I'm like, I can hear this. Cancellation in the nuts. Yep. So anyway, back to this. I thought you guys might enjoy that.
Oh, it's absolutely true.
Yep.
I always imagine the meme of Rocky, you know, with him with his, you know, the one where he's like all beat up and bloody and he's got his thumbs up. That's how we feel at the end of the campaign. or Frodo, you know, saying, you know, it's over, it's done. It's those two memes in that one. That's the crux.
It's like,
right
it's just 30 days or however long you do your campaign of just constant battling, stress, anxiety, insomnia, and all the wonderful things, but we do them and we smile and it's like, you know, having a baby. It's like, it's terrible labor. Now, Matt, I'm sorry, this is for me and Steph now, but it's like you go through labor, you have your children, you go through all the stress of, you know, like newborn, no sleep. And then it's like, we should have another baby.
Yeah, let's do that again.
Let's do that again.
So fun the first time.
Like first time didn't like tell you should. Okay, like we're doing it again.
You forget because you know kids grow up and you and then you're like,
yeah,
no, it wasn't that bad, right? And you're like,
right.
Oh no. Yeah, it was.
To the end of the campaign, you fulfill it. You're like, that was awesome. You start over.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. Like we go there for fulfillment, and there's that sense of overwhelming when I see all the boxes and everything stacked up. But then, you know, once we're in the middle of it, I'm like, this is kind of fun, you know, like we're working we're still in pajamas, like we haven't even like showered yet, but we're doing this, we're just chugging the coffee
and books, having a good time. So let's talk Heirs of Isildur. I would love to hear a pitch for everybody that's watching who maybe isn't familiar, because this is not the first issue. We're already into the story, so I want to make sure like people understand what the story is and what we're getting ourselves into. This page is beautiful, by the way. Look at all these. I love what how they made just like you can click on the side and just like skip to
Yes.
pages,
Very, very happy with that.
Let's start there. Pitch away. Have fun.
All right. So the shortest pitch that you can give for Heirs, it's where steampunk comics and metal collide. You've got a steampunk side in the story. It's told in a comic form, and there's metal music that ties into what's there. You don't need one side to enjoy the other, but you put them together and you'll get an experience that you aren't normally going to get when you deal in kind of content like this. For the Perilous Prospects arc, we are on book 3. So an apocalyptic event has happened in the town of Shadows Haven, and the only way to stop it might be through those who unintentionally caused it. That's the overall pitch for the Perilous Prospects arc. So as a quick pause button, the previous arc, the Crossroads Conundrum, ends with that apocalyptic event. And it was very character-centric. It was very character-centric on Michael Isildur, who is the main character, a timekeeper, a watchmaker in the town of Shadows Haven.
Cool.
He ends up opening up a time portal on accident that starts bringing people from other eras to him. So he has this conundrum. Does he continue to help these people? Because he realizes these people that are getting pulled through these portals are right on the edge of their own personal demise. So he's like, I can continue to help these people, but if I do, I might jeopardize the timeline that I've worked figuratively and literally to perfect my entire life. So in the Crossroads Conundrum, it ends with this apocalyptic event. For the Perilous Prospects, for this issue, Michael has returned from a supernatural sabbatical. He was put into this coma-like state at the end of the Crossroads Conundrum. And for the entire arc of the Perilous Prospects so far, he's basically just been a prop in a bed that he's just there. And what's made this arc really fun is that he was attached to all these different people that did not know each other. And when he gets put into this state, now all these people that didn't really know each other before all have to figure out their own survival. And is there a way for them to be able to stop this apocalyptic event that's happening in Shadows Haven? So when we get to this book 3, he's returned from this supernatural sabbatical, and he finds out that he's been gone for quite a while, and everything around him has completely changed. He's lost his laboratory. He's lost his house. He's lost his store because this supernatural event that happened has taken his identity and put it onto someone else.
Excuse me?
So he wakes up and he's like, do I even have a role here anymore? So we've had such a fun time with exploring all these character relationships and how they as individuals figure out how to exist together while also trying to solve this greater problem. And we get to see what's going on in the town of Shadows Haven and the supernatural events that are taking place there. We get to see a lot more about other characters that are there. We can assure you that if you're a new reader and you're coming into this, you don't have to go back to Crossroads Conundrum or to Tales from Nocturnia or even I Am Keto to be able to enjoy the Perilous Prospects. You can just get the Perilous Prospects books or PDFs and enjoy that story arc. We make sure you have enough ability to get to additional, like, hey, you want to go see the song lyrics. Here's a link to be able to go onto our website. You want to understand a little bit more of the history that's going on. You have a QR code to go to something else so that way you can get that extra information if you need it, but you don't need to have it to be able to enjoy the Perilous Prospects arc itself.
That's what I love about really good, well thought out stories is like you can read just the beginning of it, or excuse me, one arm of it, not the beginning, but like one part of it and get the meat and potatoes. You know what I mean? But if you want to go explore the additional content, it'll fill in so much more about the world, the mechanics, why the characters feel a certain way about each other or what's going on. You know what I mean? So there's just like this rabbit hole for you to fall into. And that's the sign of a great story to me. Yes, no?
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh yeah. I was trying to give
Now-
Steph a chance to talk because I know I just talked a lot. So
No, I think we're at 99 backers now. I don't have the campaign up in front of me.
Wait.
Maybe we're at
I will
98.
just refresh. I will refresh. I was gonna say I dropped
I
that
might
link
be wrong.
for Keith in the chat. Come on.
Okay,
oh,
98. I can't count.
dang
It's a
it.
proven fact.
But I was just I
But
love
we're
the
not much.
interior.
We're still very close.
I know. I was like, come on, go. I'm feeling it for you. Like, come on.
We'll get there. We'll get
Yeah,
there.
it'll happen. It's an, no brainer, but it's like always in the last 48 hours when things just go nuts and you're like, okay, we're up and we're down. We're up and we're down. We're up and we're down. Like I could do without that much.
That's the
change, but-
crazy spot to be in for
Yeah.
sure.
But who's the interior artist? Do you have a team? Do you have a one-man shop, one-woman shop? Like tell me about this. Is beautiful. Look at this page.
So our art team is out of Brazil for the interior art. The main artist is Alessandro Ventura. He started with us for the Perilous Prospects arc. And then he also did I Am Keto. And he's done just such a great job of capturing things. We've actually started doing something hilarious recently, and yesterday probably got one of the funny things we've been doing recently. So there's a lot of characters, and we try, because there's a little bit of a language barrier with someone who speaks Portuguese as his first language. We know sometimes things are going through translator. We might have certain things that Steph and I know what we mean when we give the art instructions, but they may not translate correctly when we go over there. So Alessandro has been like, hey, if you want, why don't you give me some quick positioning directions? If you have a specific way you want a panel to go, give me some of those. So we've started this thing where I'll pull up Photoshop and I'll just go in with Photoshop with just a paintbrush, and I'll just quickly scribble with the mouse what it should look like. And it is the most absurdly amazing, world-changing, industry new standard art you'll ever see. And I completely say that in jest,
That too.
but it's completely absurd. But it does the job, because Alessandro is able to see, okay, this is what Matt and Steph were talking about. But before we send it to him
visually with him.
Yeah, before we send it to him, I'm always like, Alessandro, there's going to be some more amazing art coming your way. Don't be intimidated. Don't be threatened. And we sent some over to him just yesterday, and said we think this might be the best ones yet.
Is he chuckling?
And he responded back and he said, "These are amazing. This is about what I was doing when I was 2." And I was in the car with my daughter when he sent that through, and I laughed hysterically because that was so funny. He's like, my wife and daughter are getting so much enjoyment out of getting these sheets. And I said, you know what? As long as it's doing the job, and if people are also entertained by this, then great, because it's
serving its purpose.
Maybe we'll do like a special thing where we'll put that as like, you know how in the back of the books
bonus
you'll see,
material,
like, concept art. We'll
concept
art. I think that might
hilarious.
Be kind of
that
fun.
would be hilarious.
We might need to get to 300 backers on this campaign to put that actually in the book.
I'm like, are you getting better at this? Because this panel of stick figures looks better than the one we had. I'm like, you might be getting better.
Next
by
time
that,
he's
I
gonna
mean,
have to
like,
send some burn cream with his response.
Yes.
Oh, it was great, because for him to say that, it means that as long as he's enjoying it, it's actually helped him to understand those things.
Yeah,
because there are also there is a lot of characters, and if you even look at the campaign, we tried to make sure to kind of segment out at the bottom.
Oh, look.
Here's kind of the different groups of characters and why they're important and what their alignment really is. Because as the story goes on, we don't want somebody to look at look at The Walking Dead or look at Lord of the Rings. The cast got enormous, and you do need to have a little quick cliff notes of who are the people that are the core, who are the people that are the ancillary, who are the who's the bad guys, so to speak, who are the people that are like the main antagonists in the story. And if you don't have those things, there's so much of it that it's going to be impossible for a new reader to go back and find all the little nuances. So we've tried to make sure to give them those nuances so they have a spot to be able to build from.
Do you guys do trading cards of the characters? I'm just curious. Yes.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've done, I think, 80 different trading cards to this point.
Wow.
We even do our business cards as trading cards. And so here is our most recent business card that we did. I'll hold it up to the screen for you.
Okay.
But there's our most recent business card.
That's awesome.
That's us.
So that is Alessandro. We had him draw us as in Dark Conquestor garb from I Am Keto. So that's me looking like me in one way and Steph in a very, very interesting barely there garment in the front. But
I just I'll go to the store like
sure. It's like, give me the hottest body you can think of. Thank you.
Pretty much, yeah.
But we look at we want business cards and things like that to even be fun, because how many times do you get a business card in a show and they get stuck in the pile and you never go back to them again? It's almost like I don't even want to say a loss leader, because it's just kind of like throwaway crap half the time. We wanted to make sure that our business cards went into the collectible series. So people are like, hey, I want to have all 80 of the trading cards you've done. One of the trading cards they need to get is actually our business card as well.
That's funny and amazing and great thinking. That's great marketing right there. My business card is also a trading. It looks like a X-Men.
Yes.
Old school X-Men card with the stats, but I'm Black Widow. Not Black Widow. Nice. I'm Baroness. Excuse me. I'm Baroness, because the glasses and the long hair from G.I. Joe. I had someone draw me as that. So, but I feel you. It's like, hopefully it'll make an impression, because again, it's like, it's not American Psycho where they're talking about their paperweight. That ain't going to set us aside here. We need something a little more. But these are beautiful. Oh, look, it's right here. Haha.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
That's cool. And here's more about the team if y'all are interested. There's just so much good stuff in here. Look, we can play some of the music.
Yeah, we got the different lyric videos from across the spectrum from I Am Keto. You have the link from Heirs of Isildur to Tales from Nocturnia. All kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this one, because this is the one that I heard from I Am Keto that I was like,
sure.
What are they doing? We're gonna embiggen.
Elemental forces of nature combine. The oceans and mountains across the skies. Revolutions protected by serpents of the sea. What the vengeance of the unknown teaching will die. Me and my brother to a league of the array. It was a split way of a destination. If you pursue the constant change in itself. For society of the small side of the now there is something of the for society of the first word, society of the empire. You're too exalted subject of the emperor. For society of the first word, society of the empire. You're too exalted subject of the emperor. Elemental forces of nature combine. The oceans and mountains across the skies. The oceans protected by serpents of the sea. The vengeance of the unknown teaching will die. What no betrayal, for the ones who reverence. It was by my hand, the fear brings to pass. I never asked for this, what did I compare? I lived up kindness, swallow, which is the
The drum line is sick. All right, that freaking slaps. I'm not gonna say
I
it.
have
But
to say something real quick. Facebook,
What's up?
YouTube, the owners of the music are in the video. Do not try.
yeah, don't claim copyright on this, please.
That's right.
Even though they do
I-
anyway.
The owners of the music,
It's all original.
Yes.
and it is literally registered with ASCAP. So that is a registered with ASCAP under Whisper Kings Publishing, and we give this show the ability to play that song without any issues. Boom. Commented in the video.
There we go.
That's how you do it, people. That's how you do it.
So I do want to make sure that just to make sure that there's no confusion there, the guitar solo in that song that is ripping and going 800 million miles an hour, that is Zach Leeser. He is probably one of the greatest guitar players I ever heard in my life. The guy just gets up, he's like, I'm not sure what this is for, and he'll play something, and I'm like, dude, I could never in my life perform something at that level. My hands cramp up just thinking about the kind of stuff he does. But yeah, I definitely want to make sure credit where credit's due. Zach is the one who does that incredible guitar solo on that song.
Anybody named Zach picks up a guitar, becomes a badass. I'm just saying. Anybody.
I didn't know that was a rule, but apparently it is. So yes, please, people, if I don't even know what else to say. If you haven't backed this yet, why the heck not? There's so much good stuff in here. It's a whole universe for you to fall into. There's such awesome merch. There's huge cast of characters, an intertwining story. It's just amazing. Like, freaking go back this. Here, I'll play the thing. Seriously. Amazing.
Well, we do get struck for playing the Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Yeah,
Facebook
but it's only
chat.
like 5 seconds. So
Laura, if you go check your Facebook chat, Steph and I decided that we would send you privately, not to be shown on the show, but we would send you privately some of what is sent to our artist so he can see the amazing thoughts that are happening in our heads.
I will describe this as colorful, painted stick figures.
See,
Is
Laurie,
that one wearing a
people
helmet, or is that
people
horns?
used to send me that stuff, Laurie. Now there's-
That's actually his hair. That's his hair.
people used to send me that stuff. Now they're sending it to you. You see how it-
Don't be jealous. I'm cuter than you. Sorry.
Laurie, how about this? If you want to, not the one that's more developed, just the one with the 3 people in it. If you want to show the one with the 3 people, you can show the one with the 3 people in there to show people the amazing art. This is where it starts from and then turns into the pages on the campaign.
Hold on. Let me get in there. What did it do? Where's the pictures? There they are. All right. I push all the buttons and it doesn't like me. Go down. This one. There we go. All right. Can I even blow it up? All right. We'll share this tab.
There you go.
Amazing.
Yep. They're
Is
so
this the
cute.
one where he was like, I did this when I was 2?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, this
Because
is why
I-
we're writers and not artists.
Well, and the thing is too, it's like let's be real. Let's be real. Do I need to be spending a huge amount of time creating art for an artist who's going to blow away the art that's there? He just needs to understand the positioning and the angles. And
You're like, this dude is the one with the hat, and this one's the girl because she's purple, and then the other dude that's in the scene. There you go. I get it. Oh my
but you know what, you got to have fun with it. You got to have fun with it. So I can tell you this too, when like when I do these things, it's fun to be able to go, hey Steph, I've got a new page of art, are you ready? She's like, oh, I'm ready. So I'll send her the line from the script and all the directions, and I'll send her that, and she's like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I'm like, why are we paying artists? We can just do this.
My Lord. Well, at least you have a good chuckle about it. That's really funny. Let's go shopping. I don't know. I like going shopping on this page better. I like the rewards tab because you can see all the add-ons and stuff too, but I still like just scrolling on the right side here.
Yeah.
All right, so let's shop, everybody. You can get the PDF of just part 3 for $6. That's amazing considering we're about to break 100 backers and you're going to get another book, right?
Yep, you sure are. And that book is super fun. Like I said, we are trying not to give anything away about it. We're not building it up. It's not some Marvel or DC book. It's an independent creator. But Steph and I were skeptical when we first read this book as well. But as soon as we read it, we're like, this is super freaking fun. It just put a smile on our faces. We really loved it. And the creator was super excited about us potentially including it in this campaign as well. So we know that when you guys have an opportunity, and you'll understand once we get a reveal, what it is, you'll understand why we wanted to be the ones to unveil it. In our previous campaign, we unveiled the ash can for the Bohemian Trials, which is there's a sister duo from Steph's town of Visalia, California, that's creating this incredible manga universe. And one of the things we counseled them on was create the quickest little story clip that you possibly can so that people can start seeing what your universe is and start becoming fans of what you're doing. And they created an ash can, and we got to actually debut the ash can in one of our campaigns. And so we get to do something similar. It's definitely not an apples for apples thing. It's something similar where we get to debut this PDF in our campaign. As soon as 2 people come on, they're gonna come on, you guys. You know that you want to just be one of those.
Thanks.
And once we do that, you'll see. It's going to be super fun. And I will say this: how about we give another hint? There is a 6 degrees of separation. That's definitely not 6 degrees. There's a 6 degree of separation to the creator of this PDF that kind of rolls back to Steph and I as well. We'll let you know. Again, all will be revealed once we finally get to 100 and we can make the announcement. What's that?
Is it Timothy Fling? Is it his something?
It absolutely is not Tim Fling. But it's going to be super fun. Trust us, it's going to be super fun, and you're going to have fun with it. So hey, I didn't mean to interrupt you because you were talking about the awesome things where you could go and shop. So don't let me interrupt. Boom.
That's why I jumped in here, because I noticed at the bottom of this particular tier right here, it says you can get both MP3 versions of Spiral into Madness. You gotta love that.
That's right. So the two versions. So Laurie just played the full version of the song, the lyrics to it as well. So one of the things when you got a song that's got that much going on, there's like a lot of really intricate violins, and we made sure that there was a lot of Far Eastern instrumentation back there.
Yeah.
And we didn't want that stuff to get lost. So we did a version where we completely stripped out every bit of metal elementation in there. There's no drums, no guitars, no bass, no vocals, no guitar solo. It's just the violins, the keyboards, the Far East instrumentation, and it's this whole different soundtracky feel to it. So that's the 2 different versions. So you're going to get the PDF of Perilous Prospects 3 and the brand new song that's going to come out. You'd get I Am Keto plus both of those 2 MP3s as well for that tier.
That's odd, and that's $14. Oh my God.
And I Am Keto is a full graphic novel. So you're talking about an 80-page graphic novel that is in the Far Eastern version of that story.
That's awesome. Cover A. So we have Heirs of Isildur plus the digital PDF, of course, and this is cover A, the Mountain Chaos Adventure. Do you have let's see, do you have the covers over on the left here?
If you go over to the left, they are over there, yes. If you scroll down to what's new, let's see here. What tiers are there? It's probably...
What tiers are there?
There you go. Standard covers or metal tiers.
There we
Actually,
go.
What tiers are there? They've got the 4 different covers there. Yeah, Steph, if you want to talk about the different covers, no B and C are near and dear to your heart. That's the homage cover and then the girls cover.
Yeah, so cover B, we do homage covers.
Cool.
And this is our 3rd or 4th. I'm not good with numbers. It's an homage cover, and it's Nightmare Before Christmas homage cover, and it's done by Jose Cardenas.
Beautiful.
And so, yeah, I'm unprepared to talk about the homage covers. Clearly.
Yeah, so we've got 3 homage covers in this set, and we've actually, I would say, one of our most popular tiers has been the homage set. You can get all 3, and you can get we did Metalocalypse for issue 1, we did Stranger Things for issue 2, and then Nightmare Before Christmas. And then there's another tier where if you go back one, we did a one-shot called Nightmare Scenario, and we have a Garbage Pail Kids homage for Malfunctioning Michael based on Atom Bomb, and you can get all 4 of those in a single tier as well.
You know, my husband collected those, and every now and again when I'm in a comic book store and they randomly have Garbage Pail Kids, I pick up a pack for him. It's just something from our 80s childhood, right? It's amazing.
That's right. Garbage Pail Kids are the stuff.
Mm-hmm. So these are all.
But then if you look there and you see that cover C,
Yeah.
that cover C through the portal, we talked about Chess and Gwyn, the team behind the Bohemian Trials. That is actually, they've done now, this is the 4th variant cover or 4th cover they've done for us. They did a variant cover and a store exclusive cover for the Perilous Prospects. They did the main cover for I Am Keto, and then now they have the Through the Portal cover for this one. So they've got a whole set of things going on for us. We really enjoy having them involved in what we do.
Yeah, and it's just gorgeous. So, and of course, every cover comes with the digital, physical, the stretch goals, and then of course the MP3 singles. So these are quite a deal. Here's the catch-up tier, of course, $17 for all 3. That's crazy.
And these are all larger books too. So you're not talking about 20-page issues, 24-page issue. You've got 48-page issue, 56-page issue, and then now this one's going to be 44. So if you're talking PDF, that's what you get. If you're getting physical, they're all perfect bound, so they have a spine on there. So when you put them on your shelf, you can actually put them on the book rack with your books and have a little spine there saying what they are.
That's awesome. I forget what I was going to say. I was just like, I'm just blown away by. Oh no, I remember what I was going to say. Binge reading. It's like binge watching things on Netflix. This is the great binge read tier right here. So it's like, as soon as it's fulfilled, you can sit down and read all of them. That's great.
And we've even got tiers that go all the way down to where you've got the original Heirs trade, the illustrated novel turned comic for Crossroads Conundrum, Tales from Nocturnia, I Am Keto. You've got all those in there, and that's like 600 pages, I think, of stuff. So you want to talk about the uber binge reader?
That would be me. I'm the uber binge reader. Entire Perilous extended PDF arc. Is it this one? No, this is 260 pages. So
yeah,
it's bigger than this.
Yeah, there's one that is. It's probably. Let's see where it's at. It is. Okay, it's called.
Oh, here's the T-shirts. Awesome.
Yeah, we've got multiple shirts in there. Like you've got the tiers. It's got the new shirts. But then if you're like, hey, there's a cool shirts. Like I'm wearing our Dual Serpent shirt from I Am Keto, and you missed it, you can go and add those on. We have a tier that is just all the different shirts. There's like 5 different shirts in there that you can get along with an issue, just like we did with the socks. So yeah, we try to make sure there's a lot of different options in there. We've had people that are like, you know what, I'm not really into comics, come up to our table, they're like, I just want to get all your socks. And so we know we've got something going on there.
That's amazing. Partake book 3 and some socks. You need swag. I love it. These socks are really nice too. Where do you guys get these? Trade secret? You can tell me later.
No, we'll shoot you the link there. Steph, do you want to talk about the socks?
Yeah, like why socks?
I don't know when we decided to do socks. Remember when Matt mentioned socks? I was like, I don't know. And I'm a big sock person. Like I was saying on a show that we did last night that I don't, the only pairs of normal socks I own are my running socks. Everything else is kind of crazy. And we were a little nervous the first time that we did them because we didn't know how they were going to turn out. Because you see how they look online and you're like, they look great, but how are they going to be? Are they going to be like the super thin, scratchy? Are they going to have holes in them after wearing them 3 times?
Yeah.
We've done enough of them now, and they're pretty much the only socks because we have so many pairs now that I wear on a regular basis, and they have held up. They're amazing. They're nice and thick and just really well made. People love them. We've had people that come up to our booth and just buy the socks, and that's okay because you never know. That's a constant reminder of our brand and our stories that they have on them at all times and at their home. So you never know if somebody comes up to your booth and buys a shirt or socks. They may be like, you know what, I should actually check out the story because I've been looking at these socks on my feet all day. And so we really love doing the socks. We are reissuing one of the pairs that has become, I guess, really popular. They're all popular, but people have asked for more of these. It's our 13 o'clock socks. And but we do have tiers where you can get all the socks. Called Socky to me.
Yeah. 3 and some socks, but it looks like there's probably more.
Yes.
Book of Keto and a keto shirt.
So Laurie, in our private chat, I just sent you what the tier is for all the PDFs. And one of the things we've tried to do, because you see there's a lot of tiers where the prices kind of get up there. We've tried to, at the bottom of those tiers where it says bundle and save, we try to let people see, hey, if you wanted to just go and buy these things individually, if you were like a part of a previous campaign and you got them one at a time, piecemealed, or off of our website, you can see that a tier that's $42 if you bought them individually would have cost $61. So we try to make sure people see the difference in what the things are individually versus the bundle price. We know the economy is tight. We know money is tight. We know there's a lot of competition out there on Kickstarters, and we want you to see that we value you getting value in what we're doing. So there's always going to be a better opportunity to save money on the things that you're getting on those higher tiers. And we want you to see that. Like we have a crazy tier at the very end where you can get all the metal covers we've ever done. And it's like 18 metal covers. And then it's like all the 18 metal covers and all the regular versions of that. It's like $1,100 and something. But we're like, if you would have bought these things one by one at a show, it's like $1,350 or $1,400. So you're like, $1,100 means you're saving a bunch of money versus versus just getting them one at a time.
Right. And then you only got to pay for one ship.
Exactly right.
Here's the one. Entire Heirs collection, 7 titles PDF. Holy moly. Book 1, 2, and 3 of Heirs of Isildur. I Am Keto graphic novel 80. It's one shot, but it's 80 pages. Let me be clear. Nightmare Scenario Special Edition, 28 pages. Heirs of Isildur, The Crossroads of Conundrum, 268 pages. And Tales of Nocturnia, the complete legendary saga. Y'all hearing me? This is a ton of work. And for $63, holy steal. That's amazing. Nearly 700 pages, digital pages, where you can just sit down and get lost. Holy moly. Y'all need to back that. Anyway.
So I'm telling you what, normally you're pretty persuasive and people are resisting your people.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we may have lost him. Oh wait, it's trying to. That's
You're
technology.
back.
Censors didn't like something you said.
What were you trying to say? They're not listening to my less than subliminal.
I said, Laurie is normally a very persuasive person, but they are resisting your seductive powers of getting them to go back to campaign. So you know what? I'm sure people are going to see this. And they're like, you know what?
Though?
Laurie was right.
What? No, yes, that's what's going to happen. But you know what happens? This is the Carissa Grant same situation. You guys have so many wonderful tiers that it takes people like 20 minutes to figure out what they want because they don't want to miss anything. So I've launched, I don't know how many of Carissa's campaigns, and it's like, we'll launch it and then we'll sit for 20 minutes and then all of the people back at the same time because they have to figure it out. So that's, when you've been around a while and you have just beautiful merchandise and you have so many books from people to choose from, it takes a hot minute for them to figure out what they want. So that's what I think is going on. Listen to the sound of my voice. Go back this project.
Look at that. Look at that.
Went
all
going. Look at this.
Went all nice and calm and silent, and then went with the power.
Just back it already.
Listen to Crom. Obey.
Wow.
Obey Crom. It's just, there's so many good things in here. Like I'm still scrolling through rewards. Sheesh. You don't have a copy and paste button, do you? You guys have to remake every single campaign from scratch?
Yep. Every single one.
That's one of the slogs of the back end work of creating a campaign. It is tedious. And we wish that they would do that. And hopefully it'll get there at some point in the campaign creation process. Because it's a slog. A lot of proofreading too, because we don't just have to edit the stories that we write and look for typos. We have to actually look for them in this too, because the last thing you want is to go to a campaign and see some egregious typo, because then you're like, these people are writers, they don't even know how to spell it. So we have to scour those things, and that's like, it's like reading copy, it's not even like reading a story. It's very technical, and so a lot of work goes into it.
Yeah, I feel you, man. And just like people don't understand that it's like there's graphics, there's pictures. Of course, this is a visual medium, so this is very important to have visuals that are pleasing in the story. But then in every single reward, there's now an option to add a picture as well. So now you have to build all these graphics.
Yeah, and the thing is about building those graphics, it kind of helped because now you didn't have to have as many graphics on the story side because you could only put them in the story side before. So it helped that out a little bit.
It does, but sometimes you still got to double it, where it's like, if you want a closer look at this thing, because these graphics I feel like are so small, and a lot of times like you put it up there and it gets pixelated, and like if I look at this completionist metalhead, it's like there's so many titles on here. If people wanted to see what these really looked like, they need to really come over to the story and take a look at some of the art a little closer up, because these, I'm sure they're beautiful, but they're so small, it's like it doesn't do them justice. So again, you got to double it. So I feel you guys. This is a ton of work, everybody. This is the committed team. This is someone who is passionate about this Kickstarter and passionate about this project. I don't have any other. I could just keep saying more positive words, y'all. Just go back it. I mean, for real. We're out of the early birds, but there was some early birds incentives. And then of course, here we are at the end. Did we miss anything? Is there anything else you want me to?
I think we've basically got it all. I mean, the big thing we just want to make sure that people understand is that, no matter what you do to support, if you jump in and support, even if you're somebody that's like, hey, I don't have the money right now, but I can go back you for $1. When you do that, what happens? Hey, it helps the backer count, but also anybody that follows you on Kickstarter, because you have the ability to follow any individual that's on Kickstarter. They'll get a notification, hey, Pops just backed the campaign. They don't see what the dollar amount is, but they see that he backed it, and you can actually get advertisement just by backing for $1 to help kind of spread those octopus arms out there.
And Matt, you guys, Insymmetry has backed 350 campaigns. That's insane.
We spread the love as well. We like to support other indie comic.
One of the things that we have always said, and is that when you go into a campaign, you have to have an advertising budget, and we believe that the vast majority, if not all of our advertising budget, we just put back into other campaigns, because $6 going to Facebook doesn't care.
No.
YouTube doesn't care, but $6 to another creator, that could be the thing that pushes them over a backer count level. That could be the thing that pushes them to a stretch goal. Do you know that an individual that is having the same the same struggle as you is going to benefit directly from your dollars. So we try to make sure, and that 350, like I said, we ran a few campaigns before on a different account. We backed, probably 150 on that one as well. So, we know there's others that have backed a lot more than we have, but we try to make sure that we are supporting the same industry that we're in because we know what the struggle is.
Yeah, and I'm with you guys, and I like to pay it forward as well. The way that I like to do that is to have people on my podcast, and we can talk about, everything that's going on. Indie needs its spotlight, and indie needs support. Indie, we all win. I agree, 100%. So tell me, what's coming up next for In Symmetry Creations? What's next on the calendar? What's next? What's the next book in rotation? You guys going to Comic-Cons? Like, what's going on for you guys next?
So the next thing that we have Collective Con in Jacksonville, Florida. We'll both be at. Then we've got the Spookala Horror and Culture Festival in Tampa in April. Once we get to the end of this campaign, we're going to announce what the next campaign is going to be during the end of campaign live stream. Once we get done with this campaign, we're going to tell you what it is. And we're going to have some fun with that. We already know what our next 2 or 3 campaigns are going to be, but we just aren't at the spot to be able to say it now, but we know we're going to have fun with it.
Cool. That's awesome. So Steph, you get to travel. Then how is it traveling for you? Do you get to pack all your how do I want to say this? When you put your cosplay stuff on, you got to take that all through security. Did they ever
oh my gosh. You? So yeah, that would be a nightmare. We have got it down to a science. Thankfully, with the home base of InSim being at Matt's place, all that stuff is there. All that stuff stays there because taking it back and forth all the time would be heavy and exhausting, but also I think would eventually just the clothing would wear down, all of that stuff. So it's kind of nice because I have a lot of stuff at Matt's, and so it's just slowly taking over a small portion of his place where I just keep things there, not even just show stuff, so that I can travel as lightly as possible. I'm a frequent flyer at this point, so I do have those perks, but I have learned, because I have experienced every travel nightmare that you can imagine, from delays and cancellations to everything.
Luggage,
nightmare flights, people being arrested on planes, crazy people on planes. Oh, I have stories for days. Snowstorms, storms we should not be flying through. We all thought we were going to die. I've been through it all. So I've got it down to a science now, where I try to make it as easy on myself as possible. And so I usually just have to take just a carry-on. And poor Matt is, when we have a show, and it depends on the show. If there's a show where we're at his place and we can travel from his place to the nearby show, that makes it really easy, because then we're there to load up the car. If it's a show that is in a different state, like Louisiana or Georgia, and we've done New York Comic Con, we've done some of the bigger shows as well, then that takes a little more coordination. Thankfully, we just got these really nice travel cases that are really heavy duty, because the last time that we did a show where we kind of met up in it was Shreveport, Louisiana, and the bag that Matt had was, it was bad. It was really bad. And I'm like, we're not ever doing this again. Okay. Your bag is like, they had no handle. It was, I'm like, look, okay. I know that I travel.
You just pack things in like a cardboard box and tape it up, or
the equivalent of it. Okay.
I will freely admit that I was about to have a nervous breakdown in the shuttle van back from the hotel back to the airport, because we were guests at that show, because I couldn't find my keys. I had no idea where my keys were because of what we had to do to pack. Things just weren't in logical places, and I thought my keys might have got left in the hotel room, and we're on the way to the airport because the first so we're in this van, and there's like people from like Kevin Smith's Entourage in there, and from the Terrifier movie series, and I'm in here acting like, I'm trying not to freak out, and Steph's like, you just got to be calm. And she's trying to keep me calm. And I'm like, but I don't know where my keys are. I don't know where my keys are. And you can tell who the person was. You can tell who the person was that is the seasoned veteran of insanity while flying, and who the person was that needs to do a little bit better when they're flying. And that was me.
Yeah, we're working on that. So when I travel, it's as seamless and easy as possible. I always carry. I've been stranded places before. In fact, I got stranded like 2 extra days in Shreveport. So much so because it was like this 1,000-year storm that they had a couple years back. I was literally on the Weather Channel. I was that person. When you see like those big storms, and they always have that one poor person that gets interviewed by the Weather Channel. That's like, I'm stranded. I don't have any clothes. That was me. That was me. So that's the extent of my travel shenanigans. So yeah, it's very easy to have it to where there's a home base. All that stuff stays at Matt's, and I don't have to worry about it for the most part. And there's no. I just have to just carry the basics, and we go from there. We've got that down to a science for sure.
Yeah, well, at least you took some experience, but oh my Lord. So next time I decide I want to travel around, I'll be like, dear Steph.
Oh my gosh. I've been there. I've experienced it. I'm pretty sure there's not much that I haven't experienced at this point in my travel, in my flying back and forth, because it's the airline industry for you. It's going to have some fun stuff for sure.
Well, I know we're going to have to go soon, but you know what? I think that, Laurie, I think you want to hear probably Steph's most insane travel story ever. And this was from the very first show.
I have someone asking a question about which is the most cost effective, because you are at 99 backers. And if Keith wants to back something, we could get you to 100 on the show. I'm going to do the happy dance for y'all.
All right, so Keith wants to catch up. So Keith wants to catch up to issue 3. So Keith, what you'd want to do is, Laura, I think you showed it earlier, which is
this one.
It's $17 is Catch Up Perilous Prospects 1 through 3, and again, Keith, that is like 150 pages. So you're not talking about 3 standard comic size issues. It's about the equivalent of 6 standard comics for that. Plus, you're going to get the other PDF that we have out there. We'll also send you our sampler. You'll get the MP3. So that's going to be the most cost-effective way just to get caught up to what's going on in the Perilous Prospects arc.
Devil's there. That's rude.
I know. Come on now.
He's joking. He's on here every week and he loves me, but
I figure
rude. Get to 100, I'll do the happy dance. And I still next time Carissa is on, I need to have her cluck like a chicken, because we were working on that. I told her if she got over 4K, I was gonna make her cluck like a chicken. She never agreed to it, but consequences. Consequences.
So Steph's most insane travel story was after the very first show that we ever did together. She flew out here to do a show and dropped her off at the airport. I had sent everything back to my house with my family, all my suitcases, because we had multiple cars that went down to this event. And they left and they went up to, back home. And Steph went to get on the plane, dropped her off at the airport. I left, and I get a call saying, my plane just left without me. You need to come back and pick me up. And Steph can tell you why the plane left without her. It was some silliness, but the plane left without her.
So this was all, but hey, look at, she just did a dance. So I think we're at 100 backers. I'm not sure who the backers were, but it was Keith. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you, Keith. You're the best.
Yeah. Thank you. That's the main reason why we're here, is to talk about our campaign. Get us to 100. We're very excited and grateful for those of you who backed during the show. Thank you so much. Thank you, Keith. I'm thinking it was Keith. I have no proof of that, but
it was. Thank you, Keith. You rock.
Oh, Devil's there. I'll mail you some bleach. Just kidding.
I thought the dance was great.
Thanks.
Oh, me too. So basically, in a nutshell, what happened was she bought something from one of the kiosks at the airport.
Well, it was my first time in Florida, and there was like a little rocket like tiny little rocket ship that I bought for my son, and it was filled with liquid. And at the airport, and then security flagged me and said that they thought it was a weapon, and I got frisked. I got felt up quite a bit because they thought, and I'm like, here's the receipt. I bought it here at the airport, and it was such a process. I mean, it's weird too, because I'm not sure what was going on that day. I don't know if maybe there was some other weird flags going on that day, because I've never had an experience like this before ever. Again, I've never seen it happen to anybody else or heard it happen to anybody else, but I like got taken off to the side. Like where I've had the times before where I've had like the dusting, had my hands dusted, all that kind of stuff. But this was a little more intensive. And they asked me a lot of questions about that little rocket. And by the time I got through all of that, the plane took off with my bag, which, by the way, is also a violation. You're not supposed to have somebody's bag on a plane, but they're not on it. And so maybe that was part of it too, is that they're like, her bag is on the plane, but she's not there. So she's got this rocket. So she's clearly
gonna blow up the plane.
Yep.
Like you just walk over to the gift shop and go look for yourself.
I was like,
I mean,
I don't know how this is threatening. It had like little like sparkles and like glitter in it.
It's for your kids. What the heck?
So yeah. I got real up close and personal with some TSA agents that day. We knew each other very well.
How many pockets are you gonna search? Please.
Yeah.
Stop.
It was fun.
It's my personal pocket.
Anyway, so we're at the backers. That's the most important thing. And we appreciate everybody for listening to us talk so much about it and for backing every backer matters. So thank you.
100%. And I'm glad you guys are at 100. That's like, bragging rights. You know what I mean? 100 backers. That's like that's the point where you want to get to. Sorry, Matt, I've been muting you off and on because there's a little bit of an echo. So.
Weird. Not sure why, because my speakers are off. Not sure what's happening there.
I don't know either.
But I do know that the keyboard, I think there was the sound of the keyboard as well.
I was just listening to what Matt said about $1. Everybody that follows me on Kickstarter just got the message, right, that I backed his book.
Cool.
Yep.
And I always get the messages when he backs somebody's book. So I know what he's talking about, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Look, this makes sense, people. Even if you don't got the money to back it, you share it, you do all that, but $1's $1. You know.
And so now, speaking about those dollars, now we only need 645 more of those to get to that minimum funding level. So now we're going to rejoice. We're going to take a breath. We got to that first backer count incentive, which is going to be this PDF that we'll announce later on.
Announce it now.
Now it's $645 until we get to that minimum funding level. Okay. Well, how about this? I'll give you another little hint.
Okay.
The book is from an artist that we've worked with before. So there you go. So that's another hint that nobody else knows that. You just got another little piece of insider ball right there. Boom.
It's madness exclusives, people. We love them.
So cool.
We're waiting to get a little bit
I'm still laughing at this comment where Keith went through security and had Bucky's fudge look like it's like C4.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, it must have been white chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, Bucky's fudge is the best. One more time, if everybody is so inclined, I'm going to share that link to the campaign. Go shopping, go walk around, go pick out some stuff. We just unlocked a stretch goal here on the live stream, which is awesome. And these two aren't stopping. There's so many more things planned, live appearances, more campaigns coming, more amazing books, more amazing music, and socks. What's not to like?
Nice socks too.
Nice socks, beautiful socks, badass socks. So you guys, let's share some socials. Actually, let me go back to make sure everybody shows some love to the webpage. Again, this is insymmetrycreations.com. Go check this one out too, man. There's so much good stuff and real easy to find what you're looking for. And look at all these awards down here. Oh, what's this? We didn't even talk about this. Oh, Have to have you come back for another show.
Sure.
Next time you're on, you'll have to tell me all about these awards because these look amazing. Cool.
Coming back on your show sounds like a great idea. Would love to do that.
Anytime. Anytime.
You have to book now for 6 months from now.
I'm saying, I know. I was like, there's no chance we're going to get on Laurie's show, but I'll at least throw something out there. And you were like, hey, guess what?
Man.
I just had you're like, hey, I had a cancellation. I got this date. Do you want it? I was like, yes.
I got one more thing.
And it's funny because we're in that same chat group. So that's like whenever I get a cancellation, I'm like, who wants to come on the show? I'm like, you guys always get the first pick. So.
I got something you guys haven't really talked a lot about.
What?
And my grandkids love it.
And we love hearing that.
Oh, the Misfits.
Yep.
No, we didn't talk about this one. Well, I mean, like, honestly, we spent so much time shopping on Airs.
I'm telling you, she's supposed to get top billing over here. I'm just saying. Come on, Matt.
Yeah, I know, Keith.
Yeah.
I mean, I was talking about this earlier before you were in the chat, but I was just like, this webpage is just a ton of work. You should see, like, like, Keith, come with me to the shop. This is their shop. Okay. Load more. 1.
Oh, it's
load
legit.
More. 2.
Without the looking part behind it.
Load
it's
more.
Just legit.
3. Load more. 4. I mean, it goes forever. There's so much cool stuff here. And I didn't even like touch the surface of this website. They have all sorts of really cool, like you can categorize, there's music, comic books, you can separate it by like the kids stuff. They have freaking sales section. I need a sales section. It's just, yeah, exactly. Who has it? Well, there's 2 of them. So that helps.
And we don't sleep.
And they love it. This is, I mean, it's so obvious that this is a passion that they both have, that they share. Look at this picture. How tall are you, Matt?
Yeah.
6'3". 6'3", but then in my boots, I'm 6'5".
And Steph, how tall are you?
I'm 5'2", so there's a bit of a difference there that
Yeah,
we have to work
so you know what?
around.
If you look at those pictures and you look at the 2 pictures that are right there, the one that has the Insymmetry Creations white logo on it, and that one, you can see that there's not as big of a height difference between us.
I'm literally on a stool.
She's on a stool, and I am doing a massive spread eagle, so that way we can actually exist in the same picture without it being at a diagonal.
I was just gonna say, like, this picture right here, it's like, okay, who's in focus?
Oh yeah, it's hilarious. Like when I'm there, because there's a few times we're able to do these types of shows together, like in the same room, and it's a constant like move this chair forward and move this one back. Okay, now you move over here just to get us in the same like frame. Otherwise, it's like Matt's neck, and then
you could just
my goal used to be. My goal used to be that I was like, you know what, from a being in shape, from a weight perspective, I don't ever want to be more than twice Steph's weight. And that went out the door a long time ago, because for that to happen right now, I shudder to think I shudder to think about how much weight I'd have to lose to be only twice Steph's size right now. It's depressing, but it is what it is, but I'll get there maybe someday.
But look at this. This is so cool. Like you guys put on these personalities, you do shows in costume, you MC, you write articles. It's just there's so much love, in this that I can feel from you guys. So kudos.
So Laurie, if you go up to the top and you go to that Who Are We, you can go to Who Are We and look at the drop downs there and go to the last on the top upper menu. Look at the last one that says Steph Cannon Writes.
There we go.
That is
articles. Amen, sister.
Yep, that is a link to all of Steph's articles that she's written for the different places.
Dang.
So every movie review, every horror and geek culture article, retrospective are all linked right there. Like we said, we want to give people the least amount of links as possible to get to the most amount of things. That's every article she's written.
Do you guys sleep?
Out on the horror movie club.
We never sleep. Yeah, and I get up early to run too. So it's
oh my lord.
It's a lot.
Every Thursday night we do a show, the horror movie club that Brian Christgau hosts, and we just I'll watch a movie ahead of time and then we go out and talk about it on Thursday night. It's a blast. It's early for you. It'd be like 6 p.m. You should come join us sometime. I think
absolutely. I love it. I listen to a lot of podcasts that do the same thing. I just love delving into horror films and talking about them and what's great about them and what everything. I love talking horror movies all the time, which is clear with my articles that I write.
I would like to be your friend.
I'll shoot you the link.
Yes, we are already.
We'd be friends.
Absolutely.
I need more lady friends
I
that love horror and comics, because me at the barbecue and on the street, not so much.
Well, and it's interesting too, because there are times when I'm traveling where I'll you chat with your seatmate or whatever. And they're like, oh, are you going for business or vacation or whatever? And so I start talking about what we do, and you always get kind of like, they go, oh, like whenever you say like I write comics. I've had a couple people that have been like, oh, you do stand up? I'm like, no,
not that kind of
like comic books. And then once I get into like the horror part, you kind of see them sometimes be like, oh, that's
they like gloss over.
Come on.
That's my neighbors.
There's always that hesitation where they're like,
they're all like, oh, I stay home and I take care of the children's and I do all the Wi-Fi, cook, I bake. And I was like, oh, I bake too. And they're like, yeah, what else do you do? I'm like, well, I stab things and I write horror comics. And they're like,
and see, when you do both like me, then they're like, are your poor children, are they okay?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, they're fine and they love it. They have a stuffy of my undead bear that they love.
Yes.
So yeah,
Moms of the year right here.
Sorry, Matt, we were geeking out girl time. And Devil's Air is in a mood today. Nerd friends, sleep is for the French. Like, really? What?
It's true. It's true. And we are all nerd friends and we are all weird. So it's okay.
Yeah. You are weird. I am too. And that's why we're here, because
we don't want to be normal.
We had to find our people.
That's
and
right.
This is where we find them.
Yeah.
So
yes, we did.
Amazing stuff. There's so much more that we could talk about. We could fill another 2 hours. Make sure you guys tell everybody your socials, where we can follow you, all of that good stuff. And again, if you have not gone here, go. Like, what are you waiting for? I'm just gonna say it. All right. Please.
The easiest thing to do is to go to linktree.com/InSymmetry Creations. If you go there, you've got links to all the stuff that we do, social media, Bandcamp for our albums, links to where Steph's articles are. But right now, the most important place to go is to tinyurl.com/heirs TPP3. That is where you want to go to be able to go back this campaign and help us keep Heirs of Isildur, the Perilous Prospects rolling.
Yes. Remember, this is how we keep indie going. This is the important time. This is the production of the book. So many people are like, oh, I'll just pick up a copy once it's printed. No, it won't print unless we fund it. Get out there and fund it. Go ahead, Steph. You talk. Tell us your socials.
So you can find me. I'm Steph Cannon on Facebook, and also all the InSymmetry places that we are. I am Steph Cannon Writes on Instagram and S Cannon Writes on Twitter. Yes, that's where you can find me.
Beautiful. And thank you again, you guys, for coming on the show. I had a blast digging into all the cool stuff that you do. Everybody, we will see you next week with another indie creator. Remember to be excellent to each other and kiss your babies. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Cut you down, a smile on your brow. Put a little madness in your life. If life makes you out of shape and comics are your estate, put a little madness in your life. Come give your mind a cleanse. Tune in with pops and friends. Just turn on your ROKU box and then put a little madness in your
Chicken nuggets.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit